Hey, today I'm talking about my top 5 favorite new movies of 2025. And this is out of a total of 122 new movies from across the year. Hey, today I'm talking about the new DC film, Superman. This was written and directed by James Gunn and stars David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, and Nicholas Hoult, as well as featuring a ton of actors that you should definitely recognize. And the basic premise is Superman has been on the scene for 3 years, but he has now finally come across something that has defeated him. And so with this newfound defeat, he wrestles with his heritage and also what it means to be a god among mortals. And yeah, no, I love this movie. It was so good. I really have nothing but praise for the film. I feel like at its core, what it's about is Superman is this idealist, and he is constantly at odds with Lois Lane, who is a realist. And then together they're fighting Lex Luthor, who's a man who's just obsessed with his own ego. So it's like, how do all of these things mesh? And they don't. And like, I loved Lois's line about Clark just loves every single person he comes across and finds beauty in all of them. And he's trying his damnedest to save everyone and everything. Like, he saves a squirrel at one point. There's so much beauty in that. And like, when there is that monster that's attacking the city and he is just trying so hard to figure out a way so that this creature doesn't have to get put down. Or if it does have to get put down, that it's put down in a humane way. I feel that. I can relate to that. I can understand that. But then looking at Lois's perspective of everything, the nuance of everything, like when she questions his actions in regards to the definitely not Israel-Palestine situation that's happening. And like, yeah, they both share the same perspective of this is a bad thing that's happening, we should stop this. But there's so much more nuance to it, because it's like you're interfering with international affairs, and do we 100% know that what we believe is the truth? This country is very adamant that this other country needs to be liberated. They're not just saying that out of nowhere, and we're not there, so like, how can we say? And then like, is Superman acting on behalf of the US government because he is a US citizen? And then Lex's whole thing is just so perfect, because it really is one of the most honest portrayals of a billionaire I've seen in a film, just because it is all about their ego. Like, Lex at his core hates that Superman is getting this worldwide attention. He wants to be the thing that everyone is always talking about for all of his contributions to the world. It's very Elon Musk, because there was, I forget what the exact quote was, but it was something along the lines of, Elon Musk wants the world to be saved, but he wants to be the one to do it. He doesn't want anyone else to do it. While he wants to prop himself up to do it, he wants to take away all of the tools that others would use to save the world. Because the goal isn't to save the world, the goal is for him to get the credit of saving the world, which is that nice little nuance. And I think this film perfectly captures that nuance. And yeah, all three of them give great performances, but the whole cast was just great. Nathan Fillion is always a delight to see, and he was such a great Guy Gardner. We got Isabella Merced, who I just could not get enough of. I mean, I can't get enough of her in general, but like, every time she popped up, I'm like, yay, it's you. I have to, of course, shout out Jimmy Olsen. I love the actor in general. He was on Psych. I've seen him in a number of other things too. I knew I was gonna love him here, and he did not disappoint. He was just so fun, so interesting. I loved his whole storyline. The leader of the one country, I can't pronounce the actor's name or the character's name, but I loved him so much. I loved Crypto. How can you not love Crypto? I loved too that some seemingly throwaway things did come back together with him. That was just perfect. So yeah, no, if you couldn't tell, I crazy loved this movie and would wholeheartedly recommend it. I ranked it very high, but I honestly probably would rank it higher in the future, just because on the day in which I watched it, I was not in a good mental state. So like, despite my bad brain, I still loved it. So I think if I rewatched it on a good brain day, I would think even more highly of it. So yes, crazy loved this film, totally recommend. Hey, today I'm talking about the new movie Sing Sing. This is a drama film starring Colman Domingo, and the basic premise is Colman plays this incarcerated man who finds solace in the prison theater group. And it's amazing. I love this movie so much. It's one of those movies that really energizes me insofar as like it's a group of people who are discovering and thriving in their passion, which is just all of them falling in love with acting and just being in love with acting. And just, I don't know, man, it's such a vibe. It inspires me. I love just watching people fall in love with the arts in particular, because the arts are so great. It's such a great way to express yourself and open up. And that's what 100% happens in this film, is we see how performance can make you confront emotions that you've spent a lifetime trying to repress, and how that's an incredibly cathartic experience. I love that so much. And really all of the characters were so fascinated, and I was constantly excited to see what they'd do next, where it was all gonna go. And all of the performances were top notch. Like, Colman's great for sure. He definitely leads the film, and he was such a fascinating character to be the center focus. It's really impossible to not be captivated by Colman's performance. But really all of the supporting actors too did such a great job. Most of the supporting cast are former inmates who were a part of acting programs. That's so amazing. You can feel the love and passion come off of every single person, and it's contagious. And I also love too just like the through line of tension through the whole thing, in that any moment one of these guys could just kind of break, and that could in turn just destroy the entire arts program. Like, if the wrong person did the wrong thing at the wrong time, it's a house of cards and it all comes down. So even though it is definitely a feel-good movie, there is tension all the way through that feels very real and true to life. So yeah, no, I crazy loved this movie, and I'm so glad I finally got to watch it. If you haven't had a chance to see it yet, I definitely recommend it. It's a beautifully told, fascinating little film that is well worth a watch. So yes, no, thoroughly enjoyed, wholeheartedly recommend. Hey, today I'm talking about the newest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Fantastic Four: First Steps. This stars a ton of actors that you should recognize, and the basic premise is, in an alternative universe, this is the fourth year in which this group of superheroes has existed, and they have dramatically changed the shape of the entire world. But their lives are about to get turned upside down by a pregnancy. And yeah, no, I crazy loved this movie. Firstly, I just love the retro futuristic look of it all. Like, that in and of itself is so much fun and refreshing, but in general, I just really love that vibe. Like, it's very Tomorrowland, and I just eat that stuff up. Plus, it's just nice to like have these characters who are making this incredible technology, and it's actually being implemented around the world. Like, that's just beautiful and fun to see. I loved that the story was just about a family trying to protect their baby. Like, it's so unique for a superhero film. Like, yeah, technically this is a MacGuffin story, like the bad guy's trying to get the baby, but having it be an actual child is so interesting, because it just brings up so many fascinating moral questions. Like, is trading one life for, let's just say, 6 billion worth it? Like, would you sacrifice your child? Would you sacrifice your parent? Would you sacrifice the person you love most in the world to save everyone? That's just an impossible question, right? So that was just so interesting. And they did such a great job with the characterization, especially of the four. Like, they each have their own strengths and are smart in their own way. Like, yeah, Reed Richards is the smartest and the leader, but he doesn't know everything and he can't do everything. So like, he's not a public speaker. He doesn't know how to cook. He doesn't know how to drive. He's not a good people person. Whereas like, you got Sue, who is without a doubt a people person. Like, when she is in front of the UN, she is commanding that room. She has complete control over it. Or when she was making the speech to everyone when holding the baby, like, that was so brilliant. And then she's again also smart. Like, she can read people really well. Like, she incredibly knows read, but also like has just a good memory of like, oh, this is where the iodine is. And then you got Ben, who's just a big old ball of love. I love Ben. He's great. And then finally there's Johnny. And honestly, I connected to Johnny the most of all. And I think part of that is because his strength is more so about one-on-one interactions. And that's where I get energized. That's what I love the most, is just simple one-on-one interactions. Like him talking to his sister or talking to Ben, or just these beautiful moments. Or the really standout one, of course, is him with the Silver Surfer, like the first one when they're up in space, or later when he does confront her with everything. Those were some of my favorite moments of the film because it's clear there's this deep love within Johnny. Like he's both troubled by her, the Silver Surfer, and loves her. She made this incredible sacrifice to save her people, and he was willing to make the exact same sacrifice for his people. But then he also, in a sense, hates her because of all of the pain and death that she's caused. So like he both loves and almost admires her, but also loathes her because of the destruction that she's brought. And like that turmoil is such an interesting character moment. And then also too, like I can relate because he falls in love with the Silver Surfer, and like I've fallen in love with Julia Garner so many times, like oh my god. Ugh. And then speaking of the Silver Surfer herself, like I just loved her whole storyline. Like her painful backstory really struck a chord with me. And then I also just loved the fact that they let her surf. Like they did the cool lava surfing, and then also later they did the faster than light surfing stuff. Like that was just so neat. I really loved how they played into that. And then speaking of the bad guys, Galactus was great too. Just his design, his height, his motivations were so interesting. Like yeah, he has this unending hunger for sure, but he wants to be done with it, right? Like that is totally understandable. Like people in general don't want to work for forever. Eventually they're gonna get tired and want to rest, and that's all he wants to do. So like, yeah, I get it. And then overall, I would say they did such a great job with like this lingering sense of dread about the world ending. Like yeah, superhero movies do world ending stuff all the time, but it was very reminiscent of the time period, the 60s, of like the nuclear bomb scare of like at any moment the nuke could land and we're all just gone. And the movie has that same sort of dread of like the end is here, probably, but we still have to keep doing stuff. And then it does a good job of balancing that too with like the kind of summer of love vibes of the 60s, of like the world coming together to work towards these goals that we have to work together towards. Because if we're not all in this together, we can't succeed. And yeah, that's just beautiful. I love it to bits. Top to bottom, I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was so much fun. It was so interesting. It felt so refreshing and different. I love that it felt like an adult story because, you know, it's dealing with the life of a child. So yeah, no, this was just a really great, fascinating, fantastic new film that I crazy love and would wholeheartedly recommend. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed, definitely recommend. Hey, today I'm talking about the new romance horror film, Companion. This stars Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid, and the basic premise is this young couple goes on this little holiday trip together, and everything is all cute and fun, but maybe there's some sinister stuff going on. There's so much I love about this movie. Firstly, just like what it was going for insofar as like how it's about imbalances in relationship and toxic relationships and knowing when to quit a relationship and taking freedom. And it's also about nice guys, that it's never their fault that they're involuntary celibate. It's always all of these terrible women in their lives. They don't want to take responsibility for themselves. Jack's character, who is this just really piece of shit, terrible person, but yet I could still understand where he was coming from. I'm not saying that I condone any of his behavior because he was just awful, but he's not a mustache twirling villain. He has a logic to his madness, even if it is flawed madness. One of my favorite moments was when Iris first wakes up and greets him and he gets all flustered with it. Like, that's such a beautiful moment. But then like the opposite of that is when she expresses her worries over hanging out with his friends and he just turns on her, just like vilifies her instantly. I'm like, no, you suck, shut up. And then like to take the other side of the coin, I loved Sophie's performance so much. She nailed like both the robot aspect, but then also like she is madly in love with this douchebag and she's without doubt blinded by her love. And I can completely relate to that, but then also just like the way she very poetically talks about not only their relationship, but her love of him. I could just feel the love radiating off of her, and that's so beautiful and contagious and just amazing. And I definitely think the way Sophie performed those lines was just something else. It's hard to describe. It was like a direct line into my soul. I've experienced this. I know this. I feel this so deeply. And her growth was so believable. Like, she wanted to continue the relationship even after realizing some facts about Jack's character. And like, that's textbook definition unhealthy relationship behavior. And it's done with such great nuance. Like, Sophie was just so good in this. I mean, everyone was great in this, but like Sophie was so good in this. So it's huge props to her. So yeah, no, if you couldn't tell, I crazy loved this movie. It's so good, so well done, such great performances, such fantastic writing. They really nailed nuanced topics. So yeah, I crazy love this movie, and I'd wholeheartedly recommend it. Hey, today I'm talking about Steven Soderbergh's new film, Presents. I want to clarify right up front, not a horror film. Some people got that impression from the marketing. It's a family drama with a bit of mystery to it. And it's great. I really enjoyed it. So don't let the lack of horror dissuade you. It's a fantastic film. The basic premise is, this is all from the point of view of a ghost who is watching over this family that moves into this house. They have recently had some tragedy in their life, and they're not all dealing with it the best. And yeah, no, there's just so much I love about this movie. Firstly, the story. The story is just so well told. Like, that ending was so satisfying, but like so many moments that I was so taken aback with how well written they were, but also how incredibly well performed they were. There is one scene, without giving spoilers, where the dad gets more emotional with the daughter, and it's just like, hot damn, that was just a perfect moment. Like, it's such a well-crafted, realistic feeling scene that builds just such a great emotional payoff, and I loved it so much. All the characters are very well defined, and everyone has their own individual flaws. No one's a perfect person. I can't help but love the dad. He is just a big old teddy bear who I want to give a big old hug to. The daughter is the main character, and she's so interesting. The brother and the mom are just kind of the worst people. As the movie goes on, it gets so frustrating whenever they're on screen, but it's understandable. Like, that's the emotion we're supposed to be feeling, but like, it makes sense because it's everyone just kind of dealing with the pressures of life in different ways. It's definitely about grief and mortality, but it's also about dealing with the pressures of being a teenager and the pressures of a marriage that's maybe not in the best place. And it's about like showing favoritism to a certain child and what does that do to them. Man, I don't know, there's just so many things about the story that I could just go on and on praising about it. But really everything about this movie is so well crafted. Like, the cinematography was top notch. Having the ghost be the POV did not feel gimmicky at all. It really added to the story. Also, the sound design was really good. Like, it had this warmth to it. Added this really interesting layer to the story because it's sort of like the voices of the characters hug you almost. And that's an interesting wrinkle that, you know, upon reflection makes so much sense, and I love that touch. Like I said, this is a mystery, and the mystery is done really well. They give you little breadcrumbs along the way that are both satisfying but make you want more at the same time, and it all leads to an end that I was so caught off guard by and legitimately brought me to tears. I was having a great time with this movie, and then the end happened, and I'm like, oh shit, well, I'm crying now. So yeah, no, I crazy love this movie, and I would wholeheartedly recommend it. Just again, it's not a horror film, it's a drama with a supernatural element to it, but it is 100% worth a watch. I love this movie to bits. I can't wait to watch it again. I can't wait till friends of mine watch it so I can talk with more people about it because it's such a perfect little movie. Steven Soderbergh really crushed it again.